Today on Cranky Gun Reviews, I decided to take my Bear Creek Arsenal 7.62 by 39 AR-15 back out to the range and do some shooting to see how well the new Extractor works. Starting out using my ASC magazine, which have been fairly reliable. The one thing that I think is a little bit odd with this, like the 22 Magnum upper that I have, sometimes you have to hold the magazine up into the mag well and pull the charging handle to get it to fully seat. Might just be because I'm not ramming it home hard enough. The ammo that I'm shooting today is 122 grain Tulamo Full Metal Jacket, which came out of that spam can that I opened a few videos back. Even though the spam can said Wolf on it, inside the box it was all Tulamo head stamp ammo. So far it looks like this gun is running pretty well. Let's see if that lasts. Here is where you see me struggle with getting that magazine fully seated, where I have to push it up into the mag well, pull the charging handle back. I guess sometimes you can have that kind of stuff happen when you're using a lower that's designed for 223 or 5.56 and you're trying to shove a different caliber in there with a magazine that is kind of adapted to work. And being that it's a public range, sometimes you do have interruptions while you're shooting, and I always try to be helpful.
Knock, knock.
Yeah,
I wonder if you could help me for a moment.
sure.
I'm not too proud to say I don't know how to deal with the scenario. I got one in the chamber, and my AR won't fire. Okay, and I'm not sure exactly how to handle that.
Now that my neighbor at the range was able to get his rifle cleared and get it functioning again, it's back to shooting.
In their head with dejections.
Oh, sorry.
And about now is when I start getting frustrated again. It appeared that I was having some light primer strikes on the rounds. As I clear the chamber and pick the round up, I can see that there was a clear primer strike on the head, but it was very light, which again indicative that there's either a stoppage in the gun or possibly that the ammo just has a really hard primer. So I kept trying to load the same round back into the chamber and fire it again. Maybe it was a dud. Here you can see that the primer has been struck, but it was very light even after putting that round back in the chamber 2 times. Well, let's try another one and see if it was just that round. At this point in time, I was starting to think that there was a larger issue with the rifle and that it was not just the round. Main reason being I've shot hundreds, if not thousands of rounds of Tulamo in different calibers, and I can't say that I've ever remembered having a dud. I do remember having some light velocity in some of these loads, so I'm taking some time here to better investigate what's going on, and it became apparent very quickly that there may have been a bigger issue going on with this than just the rounds. So as I continued trying to shoot these rounds that had light primer strikes, I decided that it would behoove me to pop the top receiver apart and pull the bolt out and take a look at it. And that's when my biggest fears were realized. As I pulled the bolt carrier group apart, it became apparent very quickly that the firing pin actually had the tip break off. And again, people had warned me about this with the Bear Creek Arsenal uppers, that some of their bolt parts are not the best, and had told me previously to buy better firing pin and a better bolt. because the extractors break and other issues. So it looks like I'm going to be sending Bear Creek Arsenal another email to try to get another firing pin. Young Manufacturing and Right to Bear are two companies that I've been looking into for additional parts, either a complete bolt and firing pin or just another couple of firing pins and an extractor in case it breaks again in the future.